What if I told you there was a science-backed set of steps you could follow in the morning to drastically improve your ability to lose weight? But not only that, one of my clients, Mario, did just this and managed to lose over 7 pounds in just 36 days. So in today's video, I'm going to explain what those steps are, why they work, and how you can adapt it to your own life, even if you work night shifts or super early in the mornings. Alright, before I share any of the steps though, you first need to understand what not to do in the morning. Because the traditional advice around morning routines is to cram in as much as you can. Push-ups, walking, stretching, meditation, cold showers, all this stuff that just ultimately doesn't move the scales. We already know what's going to affect our weight, and that's a good exercise routine and a healthy diet. Anything that doesn't move us towards partaking or improving those two things needs to be scrapped. But here you might be thinking, wait, push-ups and walking are exercise. Why shouldn't we be doing them? The exercise I don't want you doing in the morning is the 10 push-ups or the 5-minute planking everyone will tell you to do. And there's a reason for that. It's just not sustainable or impactful. You might do a couple push-ups in the morning and yeah, there's some benefit to it, but by the time afternoon comes around, you've completely forgotten about it and it's unlikely you'll continue this habit long term. So what we want with our exercise is a loud, blaring section of our day that demands our attention. Our exercise needs to serve as a reminder for the choices we make. I want you moving through the day and thinking either, that's right, I've got that workout coming up in the evening, so I better eat healthier, or that's right, I just did that workout earlier in the morning, so I better eat healthier. Remember Mario, who I mentioned earlier? During his first week of training, he was waiting outside the bank and decided to get some lunch. Normally he would have just gone to the fast food place next door without thinking twice. But this time, he decided to skip the fast food place and go over to the supermarket across the road to get a chicken sandwich. It was a small decision, but an important one, because it showed Mario the impact that exercising has on all his other choices. So that's why I'd prefer you to skip the morning push-ups and conserve your energy for when you're actually training. Whether that be a run or a workout, it just needs to be obvious enough for you to acknowledge it. But now you understand that the best morning routines are the ones that directly help us to take action either in dieting or exercising. So let's now move into the steps. There's 3 golden steps everyone must follow regardless of time, restriction, or location. I'll cover those 3 first, then we'll branch into some other important factors to keep in mind. Think of these 3 steps as the dominoes that once knocked will cause all other actions to become automatic. But these steps don't just start in the morning, they start the night before. Because the key to a successful morning is planning to have a successful morning. So that means doing what you can the night before to ensure this happens. And I found the smallest thing you can do that gives us the biggest impact is simply preparing your clothes. Both your work and fitness clothes should be folded and prepared, ready for you to grab and go. Jay, another one of my clients, started doing this and he dropped the shirt size in just a few months. The next domino is going to help us to avoid negotiating with terrorists. Here's what I mean by that. The moment your alarm clock goes off, your brain is going to turn into one smooth talking, compelling terrorist. One that's going to be begging you to hit that snooze button. And you might overcome his temptations sometimes, but not all the time. So we need to get ahead of the game. And that's done by moving our phone across the room. This will force us, when that alarm clock goes off, to get out of bed and walk right over towards the clothes we've already prepared. You can see this domino effect already start working. But there's one last step. I want you to imagine this. You're about to walk out the door, leave for work, and your spouse calls out, reminding you that the gas tank for the car's empty. You'd completely forgotten the night before and you weren't planning on taking the route past the gas station. But luckily you were reminded so you could correct course. This simple reminder changed your behavior. Now apply this to weight management, but instead of your spouse reminding you about your gas, the scales are reminding you about your weight. Think of weighing yourself each morning as your personal little reminder and feedback system. This morning habit is the cherry on top that's going to create awareness around all the little decisions you make throughout the day. So after you grab your clothes, weigh yourself and note it down. Alright, those are the 3 golden steps that anyone from office job to student to shift worker needs to follow. But what else can we do to bolster our chance of success? One of the biggest mistakes guys do is they fall for the breakfast trap. They're reminded as kids that, quote, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Therefore, they chow down on a massive bowl of Captain Crunch for breakfast. The problem that most people overlook is the body actually uses a significant amount of energy just digesting food. And if it's preservative-packed cereal, then it's got to work twice as hard. If you were crashing in front of the TV after a long day of work, then hey, I'd say go nuts on the Captain Crunch. But if you're having it first thing in the morning, then it's going to seriously affect your energy. So some recommended options is something a bit lighter like fruit or yogurt, or my personal favorite, coffee, which works as a natural appetite suppressor, keeping you satiated until lunch when you can have something a bit more substantial. But another important thing to consider is hydration. They say the body loses about 0.5 to a litre of water every night. Therefore, a wee morning top-up can go a long way in improving brain cognition and energy. Now, a protein shake counts as hydration and breakfast, so that's a pretty good option. Or if water's just a bit too boring, something like an electrolyte drink can also work really well. Finally, the morning light routine that everyone's telling you about. If you're unsure what this is, I've got Claude to give us a quick summary. Here's what he said: getting 2 to 10 minutes of outdoor morning sunlight in the eyes within an hour of waking up will reset your body clock, improve mood, and help you sleep better at night. Now here's my take on it. This does work quite well. I definitely notice the times I do it versus the times I don't. But sometimes I also just can't be bothered standing outside for 5 minutes in the morning, so I skip it. My recommendation is if you've got the opportunity to do it, it's going to seriously improve your life. And if you can fit it in while doing something else, like driving to work with the window down while you safely look towards the sun, then that's even better. But again, this is just frosting on the cake. The real stuff that's really going to help you lose the weight is getting your exercise in and watching what you eat. These steps only serve to make that easier. So if you want to know what to do around dieting and exercise, this video right here is my full high-level overview that'll give you everything you need to know. So go on, give it a click,